day I met this brother, Leon Marshall, I consider this brother is a visionary. This brother is a beautiful, powerful young man who's got skills, who's got mad love, and we call him the scientist. And he's the co-founder of a beautiful queen, powerful sister, Sister Vanika. And brothers and sisters, we have been working with the Hidden Science Academy. And many times people keep calling us Hidden Science Academy. They get the names confused. We're the Hidden Truth platform, but we work in love and unity with the Hidden Science platform, and it's just one love. And it was awesome. I'm going to say this again. It was awesome to put on what we call the wellness weekends. As I'm saying this to you, man, especially those people that were there, do not underestimate what we went through in that weekend. Because many times as Black people, we are given blessings. And you know what? Because we are not conscious of the blessings and loving of the consciousness of the blessings from the Most High. And if we don't thank the Most High, he will take away, she will take away those blessings that they blessed us with. And I'm telling you, man, we had a glimpse of heaven. And what makes the Hidden Truth platform so successful, how our success is celebrating the success of great people within our community. We love to praise, we love to honor, we love to showcase. That's why we had Sister Kim on this platform. We had Brother Leo Oldstrong, our director on the platform. We have Brother Target. That's not the work that we're doing. We celebrate their work, and by celebrating each other's work, we become successful. Brothers and sisters, we had the glimpse of heaven in the last bonus weekender. Just feel this energy as I play to you, because I know many of you don't appreciate how powerful this weekender was. I'm going to just give you a glimpse of this weekend. Brothers and sisters, are you feeling that? If you're feeling that, drop some ones. If you're feeling us coming together, not just digitally, but coming together, we can show the love that we have. The Hidden Truth platform, the Hidden Science Academy platform, we brought our people together. And you saw, it's not me saying it, you saw it yourself. How many grassroots organizations are doing it on that level? I'm asking you, man. That's what we're bringing together, brothers and sisters. That's what we're gonna do. And so it's an honor to have now the author, not just the co-founder, but the author of what's soon to become a best-selling novel, a best-selling book, I should say, on the science of melanin. Leo Marshall's with us tonight.
Good question. Now, Black people's skin contains carbon. Carbon-12 composed makes 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, which is the structure for melanin. Melanin comes from the sun. That's why people get darker in the sun, because they absorb its melanin. Right now, our DNA is locked. We only use 20 out of 64 amino acids. The hotter that sun gets and the more we're in it, it's unlocking our DNA. See, in ancient times, they was in tune naturally with unlocked DNA. They was connected to the source, God. They knew how to live naturally. They didn't need a book to tell them how to live because they had their pineal gland open. You see the cobra on top of their head? That symbolizes their kundalini energy rising and hitting their pineal gland. So the pharaohs, the ones with the pineal gland open, was worshipped as gods. They understood the power of the sun. Do you see the sun on top of his head? That's Ra, the sun god of Egypt. But they took away our true history, then gave y'all his story. See why it's a picture of sun of every painting of Jesus? They took sun god and reversed it to the son of God. Pharaohs was black, but then they whitewashed everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Just think about how black history don't go no further than slavery. Nobody ever asked what was we doing before slavery because they don't want black people knowing the truth about their history. Now, in case y'all don't know, we invented almost everything. The white man either bought it or stole it from us. Now they be putting our stuff up in museums and stuff. We even built the pyramids. Oh yeah, and we were way bigger too. But I'm gonna say that for another video. Now, who's mostly in jail? Who's mostly in gangs? Who's mostly shooting and robbing people? Who's mostly getting shot by police? Who's mostly looked down on in this country? Black people. And you think all this is happening only because our skin color is different? No, before slavery, white people knew how powerful we were. So they enslaved us, and now we're in their country where they're on top. And now we're looked down upon. Now people think of black people as thugs. But how did we become thugs if we were just kings and gods? They literally programmed us to be this way. Why do you think they promote rappers that talk about killing people and taking drugs? Like, actually think about that. That's the most promoted music. They got all our females wanting to be hood rats. They don't want our women to look up to these queens. They want y'all to look up to Nicki Minaj. And the reason why I said we will never change is because they got us so programmed to the point where even if one black hood person woke up, he won't speak out or try to talk to his friends or nothing because he's scared of looking lame. Oh, you lame, you corny, all this stuff.
So brothers and sisters, Hidden Truth Tonight links up with the Hidden Science Academy, author of the Hidden Science of Melanin. Brothers and sisters, let's make some noise tonight for the king himself, Leon Marshall. How you doing, my big brother?
I am doing very well, King. Very, very well. Very excited to be on the platform. I feel like I haven't done a presentation on it in like years. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Praise be to Allah, my king. Praise be to Allah. Brother, it's an honor to have you on the platform. It's always an honor when we can work together and show what organizations and individuals can do when they're united and focused on the goal of liberation. So, brother, I know that so many people have been putting on the platform. I've got the book. I'm reading my book. I've got the book. I'm reading my book. So, brother, I'm really going to keep my mouth quiet now, King, and hand over to yourself, brother.
Can I share my screen, brother?
No, I'm going to get that done for you right now, soldier. It's all yours, King.
Family, big up the family putting ones in the chat. I see you. I see you. So, yes, let me just share my screen. Make sure you guys can see everything. Use this as well. All right, family. So I'm going to be, and large at the family put enough ones. I see the love. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I don't have a lot of time, so I will go through my presentation quite quickly, family. So let me start. Let's get into this. As this presentation will focus heavily on the science of melanin, it makes sense to start with a definition of science that is easy to understand. So here's my definition. Science is logic backed up by evidence. And when I say logic, I just mean common sense. And then you back up your common sense with proof. So for example, if I was to ask you what's 2 + 2, I'm hoping that your common sense would say 4. Or what if I said prove it? If I said prove it, how would you prove it? The easiest way to prove it is to put 2 fingers on one hand, 2 fingers on the other hand, and then count them out loud. And there's your proof. So to me, science is just logic or common sense backed up by evidence. And when I go with my own definition of science, I start to realize that science is simple. It's very simple to understand. And I like to keep things very super simple because a wise man once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That was arguably one of the greatest scientists of all time. How am I sounding, family? People saying that I sound muffled. How am I sounding?
Yeah, you do sound a bit muffled. You do sound a bit muffled.
All right, how do I sound now, family? Is that better?
Keep talking.
Yeah, so I just changed the mic sound. So is this sounding better now, family?
No, it still sounds the same.
All right, let me see. famous system.
Better,
That's better.
much better. That's the one.
Better, yeah?
Yeah, yep, that's the one.
All right, so moving on as we continue. So a wise man once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That was arguably one of the greatest scientists of all time, Albert Einstein. So if he could keep it simple, why can't we? Now, I agree with this statement, by the way, family. I agree with this statement. I say that if someone's teaching you science and they can't teach it to you in a simplified way, it means they don't understand the subject well enough. But I'd take it one step further. I'd say they don't understand it well enough, or they do, they just don't want you to understand it. So they explain it to you in a confusing way, in a complex way. Why else wouldn't they just explain it simply? So as I go through my presentation, family, I'm going to keep things super simple, because as you guys know, science to me is just 2 + 2. Or, as another wise man once said,
boom. 2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Quick maths. That's all science is to me, quick maths. So as we go through this presentation, I'm going to keep things super simple and break it down with simplicity, like I have in my debut book, The Hidden Science of Melanin, which, family, is still available to pre-order. You can actually still order it. I know a lot of people have it right now, but you can still order it at the reduced price. So if my sister can put the link in the chat, you can still order it at the reduced price if you wanted to. And I'm curious, by the way, because I did see a couple of people saying they got the book. Family, let's just do this quickly. If you have the book already, put a 1 in the chat. Let me see how many people got the book. Just put a 1 in the chat if you've got the book. Let me see who's got. Family, large up the people who have the book. Yes, family. Yeah. I can't wait for you guys to properly read this book and give me feedback. Big up, big up, big up. What? All right, listen, stop. I'm curious though. I know. All right, stop. I'm curious. Who hasn't got the book? So right now, put a 1 in the chat if you don't have the book. If you don't have the book, put a 1 in the chat right now. Oh, wow. Lots of people putting 1s. Okay. For all those people putting 1s in the chat, I've got one thing to say to you.
You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today.
So what are you going to learn today? Today, I'm going to go through the Melanin Code of Silence, which is a chapter in one of the chapters in my debut book, The Hidden Science of Melanin. So those who have the book, you know that there's 12 chapters, 12 powerful chapters. And chapter 10 is when I go through the Code of Silence. So chapter 10 is on page 143. And I start this chapter by saying, one thing I have noticed over the many years of research in this subject is that there seems to be a melanin code of silence amongst academics in the science community, an unwritten rule that academics, doctors, and those in the medical industry seem to abide by. The rule is to never mention the true functions of melanin to the general public. Keep information about melanin hidden and only talk about it in terms of skin protection. Where's the evidence of this? Well, it's not taught in great detail in schools, colleges, or universities, despite its biological importance to all living organisms. When it is mentioned, the person talking about melanin always seems to focus on the protective properties of melanin in relation to UV radiation and DNA, conveniently neglecting all other properties. So unfortunately, family, there is a code of silence when it comes to melanin. So every time people, experts are talking about melanin or talking about Black genetics, they seem to follow this code of silence. And trust me, it is a code of silence because these people know about melanin. They know more about melanin than we do. Ask Henrietta Lacks. They know about melanin, yeah? So, unfortunately, anytime we talk to experts about Black genetics or about melanin or about our health issues, those experts, again, unfortunately, tend to do one of two things. They'll either tiptoe around the elephant in the room. So experts will not talk about melanin at all. They'll literally just won't mention melanin and hope that you don't mention it. So they'll tiptoe around the elephant being melanin, or they'll tap dance around it. So they'll kind of mention it. They'll kind of talk about Black people and Black health issues, but they won't mention melanin's true function and how it relates to all of this. So they end up being one of two things. They end up being tiptoers or tap dancers. Yeah. And science is simple. You guys could do this as an experiment. Next time you're with an quote unquote expert, just ask them about Black genetics. Just ask them, are we different? Yeah, and hear what they say. This is an example of someone doing just that. Listen to this exchange.
So, Doc, I've been doing some research, and I just been listening to stuff on the internet. Right? I just got to ask just a few questions. I just want to ask you how you think. I mean, how long you been a doctor?
2 years, but training before that was
like 8, 9 years. Oh, yeah.
But officially having the letters after my name 2 years. What's up?
I just have a curiosity, and because there has been quite a few doctors that that I've been looking at.
Okay.
And the one thing that I have to ask you is there a difference between Black people's genetics and other people's genetics on the planet?
Okay, now did everyone see what he did there? So he had his back to the guy the whole time the guy was talking, but then the guy asked a very important question. He asked him, is there a difference between us and other people, genetics wise? And he got a bit serious. So the guy then turns around. He doesn't turn around fully. You guys can see he doesn't turn around fully, but he kind of is like, okay, we're getting serious now. So let's hear what he says. Now, before I play what he says, do you think, and I want the family to chime in here, do you think he's going to tap dance or tell the truth? The brother just asked him, is there a difference between Black people and other people's genetics? Do you think this doctor's going to tap dance or tell the truth? Let me know, family. Is he going to tap dance and tell the truth? Some people say he's going to tiptoe. All right, listen to his answer. Let me bring it back a bit.
I mean, there's difference between your genetics and my genetics. Sure.
Right, but how much of a significance of the genetics is different?
In terms of percentages, barely anything. But in terms of risk factors for certain diseases, you're more likely to have certain diseases depending on what your family background is and where.
Oh, did you hear that, family? So he said, there is a difference between your genetics and my genetics. But then the guy goes, okay, what about percentage-wise? That percentage-wise, it's hardly any difference. However, you guys do have, you guys are more likely to. He starts to go into the more likely to narrative. So listen to that again. I'm going to play it one more time. Listen.
But how much of a significance of the genetics is different?
In terms of percentages, barely anything. But in terms of risk factors for certain diseases, you're more likely to have certain diseases depending on what your family background is and where your family was and where your ancestors were from. The short answer is yes. But when you say Black, like Black could mean a lot of different things.
So then he starts tap dancing. When you say Black, what do you mean? We mean melanated people. That's what we mean. Stop acting fake confused. Is there a difference between us, the melanated, the highly rich melanated people, and everyone else? He's like, yes, but it's minute. It's just a small difference. However, you guys are more likely to. So he starts to go into that. So who's heard of that narrative? Because they tend to run with that narrative. Has anyone heard of the Black people are more likely to narrative? This is something that the experts will run with, especially here in the UK. They love to run with this narrative. The Black people are more likely to narrative. Look, here's the NHS choices. On their site, they've got a section just for us. How lucky are we? And it says, if you're African or African Caribbean and you live in the UK, you're more likely than people from other cultures to have certain health conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and prostate cancer. When you ask the experts why we're more likely to, what do the experts start doing? They start tap dancing, yeah? So we're the face of pretty much all the diseases in the UK. We're the face of type 2 diabetes, yeah? They usually get someone who suffers from type 2 diabetes and make them the face of it because, we feel like we're doing a good job by promoting type 2 diabetes, but they know the power in getting celebrities to be the face of it as well. So this person's not a celebrity, but they'll definitely get a celebrity to push their narrative. They have to get celebrities or Black people to push the Black people are more likely to narrative. So here's here's a face, a celebrity face. They must have just said, hey, do you want to be the face of our disease? Yeah, sure. How much are you going to pay me? Okay, we'll pay you this. And now we're the Black people are the face of type 2 diabetes. What about prostate cancer? This says, why are Black men more likely to die from prostate cancer? Good question. Let's ask the experts. And let's not forget Black women. In the UK, Black women are 5 times more likely to die from pregnancy and childbirth and all that sort of stuff, more than white women. Wow, really? 5 times more likely? That is crazy. Why? Let's ask the experts. So, we're the face of all the diseases in the UK. We're literally the face of all the diseases in the UK. Let's not forget that they made us the face of coronavirus as well. Remember when they did that 2 years ago during the pandemic, and we were the face of that as well? Now, when this happened, everyone was like, oh my gosh, we're more likely to die from this thing. Why? So listen to this expert explain why. Listen carefully.
There are socio-economic factors, but actually, when you look at levels of vitamin D suppression in these populations, I wondered whether that was the cause, and that's the advice I'm giving now for members of the Black and Asian community to consider vitamin D supplements.
So according to this expert, vitamin D supplementation was potentially the reason. And studies have actually backed this up, so we could be right there, yeah? But did you hear his solution? Did anyone hear his solution? What was his solution, family? He said he's recommending that Black and Asian people take vitamin D supplementation, which is interesting because the only way your body produces vitamin D is when your melanin is absorbing UVB radiation when you're exposed to sunlight. This is the only way your body produces vitamin D, when your melanin absorbs UVB radiation and then converts a cholesterol that's in your skin into a vitamin D precursor that goes through your liver and kidney, and then your kidneys produce the active form of vitamin D. This is the only way your body produces vitamin D. According to who? Leon Marshall? No. According to the 120 scientific studies I have referenced in my book. So family, vitamin D supplements does not work. According to who? Leon Marshall? No, according to over 120 scientific references I've put in my book. And I've referenced everyone. I've referenced everyone from around the world. Russian scientists, Chinese scientists, American, Europeans, Black people. Everyone's done the research on this and they all come back with the same conclusion. So don't get angry with me, don't argue with me, argue with science, yeah? But let's go back to this expert and hear what else he has to say. Listen to the tap dancing.
So the reason I mention it is because of clearly there's a higher level of melanin in the skin of Black and Asian people, and that's to protect their skin from the sun and from the harmful effects of UV rays.
Oh, have you heard that narrative, family? Who's familiar with that narrative? Did you hear that, family? He said the reason why we've got melanin is to protect us from the harmful rays of the sun. Who's heard of that narrative? This is the reason. According to the experts, the reason why we all have melanin is to protect us from the harmful UV rays of that thing in the sky that gives life to everything on this planet. If it's not for the sun, there's no life. There's no plant life, there's no animal life, there's no human life. But according to the experts, we need protecting from that thing that gives life to everything on this planet. Does that make sense, family? And sometimes we don't even need to use science, just use common sense. Just use common sense. Let me ask the women a question here. This is just, and don't have to worry about the science, just use common sense. Ladies, if the reason why you have melanin is to protect you from the harmful UV rays of the sun, then why do you get darker when you're pregnant? Why do your arms get all dark and your neck gets dark and this dark black line appears over your belly when you get pregnant? Why is that if the only reason why we have melanin is to protect us from the harmful effects of the sun? Why then would you get darker when you get pregnant? Let's ask the experts. Mandem, I don't want to miss out the Mandem. Mandem, let me ask you a question. Where's the darkest part of your body? This is a question for the Mandem. Where's the darkest part of your body? Yeah? And keep it PG in the chat. Where's the darkest part? Point to the darkest part of your body. Where is the darkest part? Science is simple, remember? Now, think about this. Think about this. If the darkest part of your body is down there, then, and they tell us that melanin, the only reason why we have melanin is to protect us from the harmful UV rays, then how come the darkest part of your body is the part that's hardly ever exposed to the harmful UV rays? I'm so confused. Someone help me out here. Let's ask the experts. This is what happens when we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's go back, because they'll just continue with this code of silence. That's what they do with us. They continue with the melanin code of silence and make us think that the only reason why we have melanin is to protect us from the sun. It makes no sense. Just using common sense, just using logic. You don't even have to read my book. Just use logic. It don't make sense. Yeah. Let's go back to this expert. Yeah. And listen to the more tap dancing. Listen to the way he tap dances even more. You ain't gonna believe this part. Listen to this.
So the reason I mention it is because of clearly there's a higher level of melanin in the skin of Black and Asian people, and that's to protect their skin from the sun and from the harmful effects of UV rays. And in European populations, we've lost melanin so we can absorb more vitamin D.
What?
So it's not really a problem if you...
Wait a minute, did you guys hear that? What he said there? Did he say that Europeans lost melanin? Europeans lost their melanin? Listen.
And in European populations, we've lost melanin so we can absorb more vitamin D. So it's not really a problem if you...
Has anyone seen my melanin? I've lost my melanin. It was just here. Has anyone seen my melanin? I've lost it. It was just here. Has anyone seen my melanin? No, I was just in Africa and I came out of Africa and I've lost my melanin. It was here somewhere. Someone find my melanin. This is what happens when we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective. People can chat absolute foolishness to us. Lost your, wait, hold on a second. I swear I had my melanin yesterday. I had my melanin, but I've lost it. If any of you find my melanin, please call 0800 65. Listen, this is what happens when we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, you know. People can chat absolute foolishness to us. Do you understand? Because they're tiptoers and they're tap dancers. All they do is tap dance around the elephant. That's all they do. And because we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, we believe they're foolishness. Do you understand? And what's crazy is because they're the ones telling us about melanin and they're the ones, you know, that are the quote unquote experts, because they tell us this stuff and we believe it, guess what we then become? Guess what we then become? We then become the tap dancers. Us. We then become the tap dancers because we're believing this foolishness, and then we then start pushing their own narratives. They get us to push their narratives. If you don't believe me, think about this. We're the face of all of the diseases in the UK. We're literally the face of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, fibroids, child deaths, coronavirus. We're the face of everything. The only thing that we're not the face of is skin cancer. Oh, wait.
No, I don't wear any sort of SPF or suntan lotion because I don't really need it, to be fair. I'm not going to burn or tan, so I'm good.
I am such a sun baby. Don't mind getting a bit of skin out.
Chill, just get my melanin.
I don't generally use an SPF.
To be honest, I don't really use it.
And that probably sounds crazy to some people, but I think for me, being of a darker complexion, I naturally have melanin, so I don't feel like I'm never going to sunburn.
Okay, so now we're the face.
Really? Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Okay, so now we're the face of skin cancer as well. Now we're the face of skin cancer. And again, because we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, these people, these tap dancers can tell us anything and we'll believe it. And because we believe it, we then become the tap dancers. We then become the people that push the narrative. Does that make sense, family? So unfortunately, check this out. This is from Cancer Research UK. They get these beautiful Black women to start tap dancing. Listen.
It's a topic that the Black community really need to be talking about. They need to be thinking about it a lot more.
I definitely think differently now after this chat.
That little sun cream you're putting on will save your life.
Now we become the tap dancers. Do you get what I'm saying? So every time I see this, because I'm seeing it a lot, because we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, no one's teaching us the truth, we then become the tap dancers because we're listening to them and just taking on everything that they say. Do you understand? So when people see this, they may not think nothing of it. But me, I'm always looking through the matrix. I'm always seeing things that other people don't see. So when you guys see this, you guys might see it like this. This is how I see it.
But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it.
We then become the tap dancers. We become the tap dancers because we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective. Does that make sense, family? And they know the truth. Again, ask Henrietta Lacks, ask Nat Turner. They know the truth about melanin. They're studying melanin more than they're studying anything else. So they follow the code of silence. And because we don't understand melanin and we're not learning melanin from a Black perspective, we end up being tiptoers and tap dancers and following the code and following their narratives. Does that make sense, family?
So look,
to the point where they can just turn around and say to any of our celebrities, hey, tell Black people that you got the virus and tell Black people to take it seriously. And we're like...
So look, this morning I got some test results back for coronavirus and it came back positive. Yeah, and it sucks. I got the results back today. Look, this is serious.
Make sure to remind you guys to keep washing your hands frequently with soap and water. Try to avoid touching your face, your nose, your eyes, and of course try to avoid making unnecessary contact with people. It's all about protecting yourself and the people around you. I wish I would have took this thing more seriously, and I hope everyone else...
He's a famous basketball player.
Because we can do it together.
In his post, Smart told fans that he was tested 5 days ago
this is a basketball
and
player
doesn't
as well.
have any symptoms, but is in self-isolation. Smart also stressed the importance of taking this virus seriously and address younger generations.
So listen to how they're all saying, Black people, we need to take this seriously. We need to take this seriously. We need to take... You caught the virus and you're telling Black people to take it seriously. Again, they're following the narrative because remember, Black people are more likely to. So we need to get you guys to follow the narrative. So tell Black people to take it seriously, which doesn't make any sense because you've got a disease. Why do you need to tell me about it and tell me to take it seriously? That's like me catching gonorrhea and going live on Instagram on some Black people. I need to tell you the truth. I got the results today and I got gonorrhea. We need to take this thing seriously. Black people, we need to take this thing seriously. Like, it makes no sense. Why are you telling me you got the virus? Just deal with it. Why are you telling us? Because they're following a narrative. Yeah. So when you guys see this, I see this.
But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too. Then I get it too. But you gotta like it too.
And they always have to get like a powerful celebrity, not even just someone who a lot of people look up to. So they like to get Idris over here. Over there in America, they like to draw for Morgan Freeman. So let's listen to Morgan Freeman. Let's hear what he's got to say.
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not a doctor, but I trust science. And I'm told that for some reason people trust me. So here I am to say, I trust science and I got the vaccine. If you trust me, you'll get the vaccine.
So everyone else sees this, yeah? You guys will see this, but again, I'm always looking through the matrix. I see things differently. You guys see this, I see this.
But you got a light bill too. Then you got a gas bill too. But you got a light bill too. Then you got a gas bill too. But you got a light bill too. Then you got a gas bill too. But you got a light bill too. Then you got a gas bill too. But you got a light bill too.
So we then become the tiptoes. Because we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, we become the tiptoers. We become the tap dancers. Does that make sense, family? This is how important this thing is, yeah? We become the tiptoers. We're tiptoeing around melanin because we don't understand melanin. We're tap dancing, following their narrative. It's crazy. When are we going to tell the truth about melanin, family? When are we going to tell the truth? Like, for example, are we going to ever tell the truth about this? Are we ever going to tell the truth about this? Like Michael Jackson's kids. Are we going to tell the truth about this? Or are we going to keep the lie up? Shall we just continue with the lie? Are we going to tell the truth or not? It's time to tell the truth, family. It's time to know the truth and start telling the truth. Does that make sense? I mean, can you imagine if we started to break this code of silence, we as Black people started to break this code of silence, because this code of silence means that we don't understand ourselves from a Black perspective, yeah? But imagine if we did. Imagine if our children knew themselves from a Black, imagine if our children knew how their melanin worked from a very young age. They'd be sounding like this.
Within each living organism, melanin appears to be located in major functional sites. For example, in vertebrates, melanin is present in the skin, eyes, ears, and central nervous system. Melanin is in every living organ, which aids the human body, regardless to the color of the skin. All genes in all creatures on this planet are black. They are all coated with melanin. Our bodies are dedicated to producing melanin. Our bodies produces an abundance of melanin. Can melanin become toxic? Yes, by eating the proper foods, having a diet that consists lots of starches, animal proteins, refined sugars. Basically, eating food out of their natural state will have negative effects on your melanin. When you eat bad food over a continued period of time, the body will become diseased. Also, not getting enough sun will also have negative effects on your melanin. If you do not purify your melanin molecule, you will not heal your body of diseases. Melanin is deranged when it becomes toxic. Yep, any individual.
Listen, just imagine a world where our children knew the truth. Can you imagine that, family? Let's all imagine that for 2 seconds, where they knew the truth about melanin and they knew how their body worked from a Black perspective. Can we all just imagine a world like that? How amazing would that be? Think about it, family. Now, imagine if there was a book that taught them this science. Just imagine there was a powerful book that could teach our children this powerful science, where they could know themselves so they don't grow up to be tiptoers and tap dancers. Just imagine a book like that, family. Can you imagine how powerful that would be for our children? Let's all imagine that. Can you imagine that? Now for 2 seconds, family. Imagine if there wasn't a book like that. Science is simple. It's just that you've been taught it in a confusing way. And there's only one of 2 reasons why. Either the person teaching you science doesn't understand the subject well enough, or they do. They just don't want you to understand it. I'm gonna let you put 2 and 2 together on that one. My name's Leo Marshall, and that concludes the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Come on, brothers and sisters. Come on, brothers and sisters. I told you, we're going to learn something new tonight. And that stupid song is in my head, brother Leon. I don't know why you got to put that song in my head now. Lord gosh. Leon Marshall, brothers and sisters, Hidden Science Academy, dropping the ones. Tonight is the night. Come on. Sister Jurita, you got your copy, my queen.
Woo. Yes,
Come
sis.
on.
Come on.
Woo!
Large up the family, put in ones. I love it.
Drop the ones,
Drop
man.
it up.
You know it. I didn't have to say anything, man. Drop the ones. Brother Leon, absolutely masterpiece. And you done it exactly on time, brother. Absolutely amazing. Make sure you get your Hidden Science of Melanin, brothers and sisters. These are the kind of information. These are the kind of weapons we need to destroy the mass distraction that's been given to our people. Brother Leon, big you up, soldier. Is
Thank
there
you,
any
brother.
last words you'd like to say?
Yeah, so if my sister can post, we've got the Hidden Science of Healing Herbs. That's this Thursday, family. Free webinar for the family to check out. So if my sister can post that. And I'm doing book signings all over the UK. So I'm going to be in all different parts of the UK doing book signings. So come bring your book and get it signed. The first book signing is this Saturday at CSCP, Croydon Supplementary Education Project, which is actually where I first started delivering my Black Holistic Health courses back in 2017. The same place where the great Robin Walker delivers his Black History courses. So I'm going back to where it all started, family. So if you ever on any of my previous courses, like my courses from 2017, 2018, make sure you come down to CSCP on Saturday. I'm doing a book signing from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And Robin Walker's going to be down there as well. So it's going to be a vibe, family. My sister's going to post the chat. I want to see anyone who's from Croydon. I want to see you guys in there. And don't worry if you're from North London or any other places. I'm going to be in those places as well. So I'm going to be all over the UK, family. And I'm going to be in France as well. So I'm not just the UK. So large up, family. It's all love, but it's about the information, family. Let's start sharing this information so we have true knowledge of self. Thank you, King.
Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Hidden truth is there. Absolutely amazing.